Hey everyone, my name is Dustin Steiner with Tillmore, and today I will be unboxing the Rotovator by Pioneer Equipment. Opening it up, we have some hardware and a little manual. Got 3 different packages there, and then we've got the bottom assembly here. So all we're going to have to do is we're going to have to assemble the handle for it, which is actually a pretty easy process, and we'll get going here. There are 3 pieces to the handle. Just a standard square tube. A smaller square tube, and the handle is going to fit on the end here. And then the wood handle itself. If you open up the little bag, there is a little manual, and it has a little bit of information about the Rotovator, and then it also has what the box contains, so you know all the different components that are with it, and so you know how to assemble it. It requires 2 7/16 wrenches and 2 1/2-inch wrenches. I'm going to pull all the hardware out here. We're just going to follow the diagram. So the first one we need here is the square tube that has the 2 holes here drilled on the side, and we are going to, those 2 holes are going to go on the bottom. Now this tilts here, and we'll get into that a little bit later about why that does that, but it's for adjusting this blade. And we're going to need the 2 larger bolts, a locking washer, and 2 nuts to go with it. So lining the bolts up, and I'm putting the lock washer on. Now it's a little bit easier to put the lock washer on the bottom. One, because the top is flared out just a little bit. And so once we get that on there, we'll take a 7/16 wrench. Actually, I believe it's a 1/2-inch. We can tighten it up. This is where we need the second 1/2-inch. Put one on both sides here. I tighten it up just enough so so it pulls in the top here, and then it's easier to put the top one in. Now, below here we have this bar, and it's going to take this, one of the smaller bolts, along with a lock washer and another nut, and that is going to go up through. Now you might have to pull this down a little bit. This is there's some adjustment you have in here, so that's why there's a little bit of flexibility in how you put it in. Lock washer, nut, 7/16 wrench. Make sure everything's tightened up. here. We're going to go ahead and put the next piece on, but actually before we do that, we're going to put the handle on. And the handle, the holes where the bolts go through are pretty tight. You don't want a lot of movement up there, and that's why it's pretty tight, but it's a little bit hard to get them through. So if you need to use a hammer or something hard to pound them through, that's what you'll want to do. So I went ahead and pounded the bolts through the whole way. Another thing you can do too is if you can get one through far enough and the other one, or if you can get the thread far enough, then you can get the nut on and you can draw it the rest of the way through. Now this doesn't have a lock washer, it just has the nut and the bolt. And a single 7/16 wrench. Get it nice and tight, because otherwise you're going to have the handle's going to feel a little bit sloppy. So here's your handle. We're going to be putting it right here, and with this bolt we're going to have just a flat washer. So when it comes out there, lock washer on, nut. So that's the assembly for the Rotovator. It's a pretty simple process. There are a couple things for the Rotovator that you can do. You can use it as it is right now, and there's a crumbler up in front, and then you have 5 hardened tines in the rear for cultivation. The other way that you can use it is you can flip it over, and you can use this double-edged knife to cut the weeds and leave a nice tilled surface. Depending on how you're using it, may depend on how it's adjusted or the height of the person. So there are a couple of adjustments here. By taking this nut off, there's 3 different spots where you can put where the handle is going to be angled. The additional adjustments are on the side here. You can loosen up this nut here. You need 2 1/2-inch wrenches there, and then it allows this blade to be adjusted. So when you are cultivating or weeding, you want to do it about less than a 45-degree angle, and so depending on the height of the person and what you're doing, you can adjust that accordingly. And then just tighten them up. Make sure you're tight with all the hardware before you operate, and then you're ready to go. The Rotovator is perfect for your garden or your produce patch, and a few of the features are that it's got a 10-inch cutting width. You've also have a double-edged cutting blade here. The 5 tines in the back are heat treated, and also the crumbler teeth on the roller here. And using all those in combination together allows you to do different activities in the garden, and it really can be a useful tool when cultivating weeds. Thanks for watching. We hope you like the Rotovator as much as we do. Check out tillmore.com for this and many other tools.